It was never really my intention to get that into AMC that much, but I've been learning how to do day trading, and so you trade the momentum stocks in the early part of the day, like in the first half hour of the market or so, and then after that, those kind of fade out, and you kind of lose the opportunity to practice those in the simulator. So I wanted to get more time practicing in. And so I ended up using AMC because AMC is one of the few stocks that just continues with a high volume and volatility throughout the day, and so has great opportunities for day trading strategies. And so then by doing that, I got into it more, and I'm just paying attention to all the arguments. And then I have a friend who's also holding out for the big squeeze, and I want to kind of give my 2 cents into that debate. Um, and I'm not a big squeeze believer. I think that, well, I'm not a believer or an unbeliever. What I do think is that the conviction that there is a big squeeze coming is too strong. It's too overblown. Like you don't have the evidence for it. There's a lot of people who are just way too certain about it. And then honestly, some of the commentators on this who are like pushing it are just like so um, intense and like so in your face about it that I just can't hardly even watch it because it's a turn off. Just like I don't know. I feel like this is a little bit more of a thoughtful environment rather than like a hype environment. And if you're getting your advice from people who are just like, then I don't know, are you really using your brain, or are you just allowing yourself to be influenced? That's not to say they aren't wrong, but it doesn't make me comfortable. But one of the issues is, just because there was a amazing GME squeeze, it doesn't mean that that's going to get repeated. And I would argue actually that anybody who is shorting AMC right now is fully aware of what they're doing, right? Like it's not going to be like the GME gain stock squeeze was a bit of a surprise, right? And because this hadn't happened before, it kind of snuck up on people, and so you can understand it, a bit why that happened. I kind of doubt that people who are currently shorting AMC are going to be caught off guard, and they're probably ready for the long haul. So I think that there's a bit of information missing there. I'm also a little bit uncomfortable with the whole kind of cause-oriented approach, kind of like we're taking down the big, mean Wall Street hedge funds. It's like this big popular rebellion or whatever. I mean, get real. Everybody's in it for the money, so stop acting like you're like you get the righteous cause on your side, like you're Robin Hood or some absurd thing like that. Everybody wants to make money in this situation, and the hedge funds are just trying to make money just as much as anybody else who's waiting for the big squeeze. So I think that's kind of a turnoff. But the other thing is that as I learn the market, the thing I'm increasingly focused on is on avoiding narratives. Because like so as human beings we love stories, right? Like if you can explain something in a story, then it's a lot more convincing, and people will like really listen to you and sort of take in what you're saying, and it'll make sense to them, and it's a lot easier to commit to a narrative than it is to just mere data. And so if you spin a good story, then it seems convincing, but the market doesn't care about narratives, right? The market just does what it's going to do. And so for me, it's more important to just pay attention, close attention to what it's doing. And you can have a narrative, but that should just be like way in the background. So it's like, okay, I think this is what's going to happen. And then you get ready to trade. But I know it may not happen. I'm just ready for it if it's going to happen. But I'm not going to put like a whole bunch of stock in quotes, stock, no pun intended, in the narrative, and like sort of and be committed. I'm not going to be committed to a narrative, because if it turns out it's going a different way, then I'm going to just get out of it really quickly. And I think that one of the ways you lose money in the market is by having a narrative that you're committed to, and then you end up being a bag holder, so because you're like, oh, I know it's going to go up because of X, Y, Z reasons, because some guy like who's like super hyperactive in front of his computer, and can like show all sorts of data that doesn't even make sense. because it goes by so fast, said, and then you hold on through, something. And the problem with market is that it can be irrational. So it doesn't, even if you have the greatest theory in the world, the market can prove you wrong. And so that's just my take. It's better to just like, move along with the data, move along with what's happening. And I'm being distracted right now because I just noticed this in my other trading platform. I just had that up on Think or Swim just for illustrating a background. But look at this. This just happened. Boom. I love these downturns on AMC. They're just so cool and so profitable. I think this is the one I caught earlier. I mean, you just like, they just come so regularly and you can just feel them coming. Bam. Okay. Anyway, so those are my 2 cents on AMC. Skeptical of the big narratives. Um, and I think that all the short sellers that are in there now are probably ready for battle. So it seems unlikely to me that there's going to be some big surprise squeeze. And then the other issue is like, it almost feels like all the people who are like promoting the big squeeze are like seeing the current price rise, which is amazing, and almost seeing it as a bad thing, right? They're like, oh, this isn't it, this isn't it, no way, man, don't fall for it. Don't fall for taking profit. Are you kidding me? uh 10 cents a share or whatever it is crazy risen. Dude, take your profit. Forget about the narrative. Take your profit. And you can always get back into it. Like, you don't have to hold on to your AMC stock for like months on end to get on the big squeeze. You can just watch it and set up alerts and use the market scanners. You can still get in on it. So this is a case where the grand narrative, you're waiting for something that might happen. It keeps you from taking profit from something that is happening. That seems kind of backwards to me. Well, that's my view. Maybe I'm wrong, and we'll see. I'll be happy for those who make a lot of money on the big squeeze if it happens.